I almost ripped the chat. Here we go. I almost ripped the chat. Here we go. Like, my bones were telling me to do it, but I don't think that makes sense for this replay watching. But not replay. It's not a replay. Not a replay. Not a replay. Wait. I'm sorry. The slip of the tongue. It was not a replay. These are not replays. This is live. It's just watching from Vatira's stream. And he's going to irritable bump. Ooh, what a save. I'm not caught. It's not a replay. No, they'll never let me live it down. Okay. Let me slightly adjust this. There we go. That looks, I mean, it's still a bit. Let me just get it nice and perfect. Vatira versus Nass. In a nice best of 5. Loser is eliminated. It is not single elimination, but we have gotten to a point where both these guys have lost. Vatira lost to the unbeatable, the rock solid check-in bot. Did not check into the game successfully. Got sent to the lower bracket. And that's really unlucky for Nass because, man, Vatira has been looking good. And now Vatira is going to play through the lower bracket. Nass and Drally, the loser has to play Vatira. It's just, this should be Trebla or like Joria's maybe or something. I'm not even sure if it could be Joria's, but it should not be these two playing against each other in this spot. Nate's not great. They give it 2 months of Prime. And Pessimistic Penguin, they give it 7 months of Prime. Is this stream pre-recorded? It is, and then somehow I predicted your message at this time. And if that isn't worth dropping a Prime, I don't know what is. Vatira, oh, what a save, dude. But Nass needs some offense, man. Pre-recorded chatter. Okay, you guys are getting into some serious conspiracy theories now. What a boost grab. Dude, that was such a smooth catch. Boost grab to backflip, to undercut, to pick up the ball, but miss. Almost nasty. Air dribble bump. I think Vatira got the save, though. I think Vatira was a little bit more worried about that demo than he needed to be. Because Nass didn't know he's going to spawn there. Like, sure, Vatira knows he's about to spawn there, but Nass doesn't know. He's probably not going to take a risk and guess that he's going to spawn in that one of 4 places and go for a demo. He's probably just going to prioritize everything else. I don't think he can get that back on target. Too heavy of a first touch away. Conspiracies are the tip of the iceberg is what I believe. Don't even get me started on aliens. Nass, no goals in the first half of game 1 against Vatira in the elimination game. I feel like this really opens up the chance for Moxie to win. For some reason, I just felt like Nass just has that matchup. I think if you look at it historically, it's not like heavily favored Nass or anything like that. What a save from Vatira. Just not letting Nass get going at all. Or maybe just a Drally, dude. Drally, Moxie. Drally has that matchup. I don't know, dude. The Drally actually might even have a better matchup against Nass. You're getting copywritten? You think that's Vatira has music on? Can you guys hear it? I mean, my ears have clearly been worse than your guys' before. You guys have been able to hear stuff I can't, but on Twitch it's okay, but on YouTube it's not. It's on like 2%. Yeah, YouTube will catch it no matter what, and will like completely demonetize everything, which is a bummer, but what can you do? Can you put it at 1080p? I think this stream's gonna be better than Nass's stream, but no, it looks like 936.60 is the best we have. But when we checked the Nass stream earlier, I can double check it. It was like, I mean, it was just unfortunately very low quality. And it looks like Yeah, it's still worse, I would say. Okay. Is anybody panicking for Nass right now? 5-0 against Nass. He hasn't even scored yet against Vatira. And is it an elimination game? Yeah, it's okay. I mean, there's nothing we could do. At the end of the day, whenever we're watching these ones tournaments and we have to watch from player POV, like we just know going into it, we may lose the whole VOD to copyright music. Like, there's just not much you can do. The other option is to just basically not watch the games or not have any audio, which I don't think we're interested in. Okay, Nass on the board, which like is the start. No way Nass is just calibrating. Yeah. I don't think he's gonna win this game. Or I don't think he's in this game still. Which means I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger because I think Vatira keeps his UI slightly bigger. Yeah, not much adjustment can be made on that one. Just mute the stream and make the noises yourself. No, we're okay. You can send different audio sources to different channels in OBS or set certain channels not to go on Twitch VODs. Sure, but yeah. But this is Vatira's stream, right? So to take out any of Vatira's audio, I'd have to take all of it out. Which you could protect it from the VOD, but then I have to take all audio out of the VOD, which... Then it's like, what's the point? No one's going to watch the VOD if he doesn't have anything. So you might as well just let the VOD get copywritten, you know?
W streamer.
The Big Lebowski. Thank you for the tier 1 for 4 months. Wait. Is Kenny in there now? All this talk and we could have just been watching on the Kenny stream. Maybe we just go there. Which we were watching from here earlier.
Ok, bah très bonne rentrée dans le BO de Vatira. Franchement, il y a
We just had to listen to
Nass et
some French commentary as well.
Sur les kick-offs dans le jeu. Faut que Vatira reste lucide, tu vois.
Il est parti changer de décal là ou relancer le jeu probablement.
Ouais.
The Big Lebowski, by the way. Thank you for the 4 months. I'm not sure if I thanked you.
Ils perdent un match, c'est pas de leur faute.
He was watching since the start.
C'est la décale.
Well.
Donc faut trouver le fautif.
Well,
Vrai,
what can you do? What is this overlay of chaos? You're right. I can take my overlay away now.
Ça passe par changer une voiture, c'est
We have actual overlay.
Il faut ce qu'il faut.
2 minutes de retard, c'est DQ. T'as mis dans le chat.
Ouais, j'ai l'admin en ligne directe. Le moindre écart de Nass.
Who's Trebla and how did he qualify to the main event? He's always been a top 100 player. Birds are dope. Maybe the 5 months tier 1. He's always been a top 100 player. Usually when tournaments would run, he'd be like right on the outside. Like imagine like an Arm the Rebels is run. He'd be like a guy who would qualify for Arm the Rebels, but then lose in the first round. So he's always been pretty capable. Now Joriez is unfortunately, love my guy Joriez to death. He is literally the peak guy to like snag a win against that will surprise you and make you go, wait a second. You know, is this guy kind of insane? That happens to Joriez decently often. So, if we see him play well against Drally, then it's time to be like, wait a second. Our guy could be cooking. But if he gets 3-0'd by Drally, then the reality is he's just got maybe pretty fortunate with that Vatira DQ. And the loser of the Vatira DQ will now be either Vatira, if he loses this series, or Nass. And Trebla, obviously, the big winner of the Vatira DQ. Joriez, you know, he honestly should have been a winner of the DQ, but Joriez can be that way sometimes. Yeah, Trebla, I think, the good news is Trebla is like really, really mechy. He like goes crazy in the matches. So I think he's fun to watch.
Il aura pas le corner boost, il aura pas le ballon. Oh, il va prendre ce ballon. Il va prendre ce ballon. Tu prends le boost, prends le ballon. Magnifique.
Why do most of these pros have the same profile picture? Is it that one like profile of a dude who's like black? It's like not like his race, but like he's literally just an outline of a black kid, and it's like he's looking sideways. You know what I'm talking about? The one that, yes. Oh no, he's looking down. There, that's what I'm talking about. You guys saw the profile picture. He's like looking down to the left. I think he's from a game that is like fully black. It's blue. Sure, but the kid, the person is like a shadow. Okay, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. Yes, a lot of people use that. I don't know where it's from. Daniel's used it since forever.
Effectivement, là c'était important de choper le boost.
On a repris le boost, la démo, dommage.
Et tu vois, c'est chaque move, c'est à chaque fois c'est enfin c'est un jeu dans le jeu, tu vois. Là la démo si après c'est ses buts, le boost il l'a pris, du coup c'était favorable pour lui. Enfin à chaque fois.
Ouais, totalement.
C'est vraiment tous les éléments.
You missed the dogs and hats movement. That was kind of wild.
Ok, c'est nul, c'est nul. Ok, c'est bien. Enfin, du coup,
doesn't YouTube only give you 3 copyright strikes? No. You're good. You're good. It's all, guys. What happens is they turn off the monetization. Basically, they take away all the money, but they're like, that's it, and then they stop pushing it, right? So if it was like a big YouTube video that I wanted to go to a lot of people, they turn off the monetization, and then because it doesn't make any money, even though YouTube claims they don't do this, it seems like they do, which is like they just kind of turn the video off. They like stop recommending it to people because they're like, this is not a moneymaker. So it's not really a big deal. We're not like dead forever, right? We just lose out on the VOD. Nice daily subs. Yeah, shout out to 69 subs, man. Going crazy here at the start. Nass is back to himself, at least slightly, after getting absolutely walloped by Vatira. Although I will give Vatira a good amount of credit for that. I felt like Vatira was looking really good coming into the event. And yeah, I think he would have beat Trebla, and I think he probably would have beat Joria's, and I think it'd be Drally versus Vatira up there in the top. And then it would be either Trebla or Juke in this game against Nass, and I think that would be a lot easier for him. But what can you do, man? What can you do? When does Nass's fast end? Sundown, right? I'm assuming. I mean, Ramadan's goes on for a while, but
il est en train de faire des moves de 1v1 prime. C'est du Moxie prime qui nous fait là.
That's a good 50.
Des bons gros 50 de bad.
Atto up 2-0 against Moxie.
Tu dois faire ça.
Atto, dude.
Oh oui. Putain mais.
Très bien joué, c'est très bien joué.
Dude, not having to deal with Nass just feels like I just feel like Nass has such good matchups against all the best guys, with Drally maybe being his toughest matchup. So the fact that he runs into Drally in a semi, then gets knocked down. Ooh, nice fakes. Can you score it still? Ooh, Zap Dash. Zap Dash made it possible there for a second. Ooh, good fake, good fake. You think Ramadan goes on for a month, but you can break fast after dawn. Wait, dawn, you mean dusk, right? Dawn is when you would stop eating.
Ok. Un but de retard, c'est pas grave.
40, pour l'instant c'est jouable. Elle va redescendre très fort celle-ci. Très fort. Nass au contrôle, ouais, ça va être difficile à défendre ça.
You just don't fast when you don't eat when the sun is up. Honestly, I'm no pro on it, but my understanding is you don't eat when the sun is up. And as a little life hack, I think a lot of the places that observe Ramadan like shift their days a little bit, like forward, and live a little bit more during the nighttime, aka they sleep through a little bit more of the fast period.
Atto mène 2-0 contre Moxie. Match important, comme je vous ai dit, à gagner.
Excellent. Ouais, il lui prend tous les boosts, il est obligé de jouer une shadow défense. Ouais, c'est dur là, ça va être but.
It kind of sounds like to me, you know the diets that people go on where they're like they can only eat in certain windows of time in order to try and lose weight. It basically seems like they're just kind of running that. I don't know if that's how it works out in practice. Maybe it feels a lot more like they're waiting a lot longer to eat. Yeah, intermittent fasting, yeah. But who knows? Maybe it feels more than that. I've never done Ramadan before, so.
Il est premier, il va prendre ce contrôle. Je pense pas qu'elle soit dedans, il a le temps de la récupérer.
C'est
évite
pas
la démolition.
Mais effectivement, il va falloir marquer dans peu de temps.
Oui. Ah, je l'avais pas vu rentrer celle-là, putain.
I think must win, must win. I don't call must wins for Nass a lot, but this next 24 seconds, I'm calling the alert, must win, must win. Nass must win the next 24 seconds. I don't know if he can make it through. If he drops a game here, goes down 2-0, is in the lower bracket, playing against the Vatira, throwing away this lead. Air dribble cringe, wasn't even close. He way lobbed it too high. All right, he's fine.
Dommage.
Is this anything? Must win. Do you guys want this emo? It's apparently a zoomed in face of me as must win. Chat is mostly in on it. Okay. I don't know if I fully get it, but that's fine. All right, Atto Mock. Moxie is up 1, but it's early in the game. Trying not to get swept. Jack losing. Spilled water on KBM. Ain't no way! Another person spilled water on their actual... I can't believe it. We thought it was a meme. Jack spilled water. He's down 6-7. If we look at his... oh, but he's up 1-0. 1-0 in the series. Jup is playing against Luis P. Is playing against... I don't know. I'm waiting for the pixels to load. Oh, Joria's. Oh, yeah. Joria's Jup. What is the series at here? Do we have a pinned... Oh, no pin. That one is 1-1. Dude, if Jup makes top 8 instead of Jor Oots, crazy times we live in. All right, Juicy's probably... I have Juicy favored against Tempo. He's up 2-0 in game 3. And Luis P is not streaming. Trebla is not streaming. Brox is not streaming. Okay. Back to Nass Vatira.
Tu vois, tous les moves intelligents que j'explique là depuis tout à l'heure sur le stream, lui c'est...
Jack is going to be peeing big time when he takes a sip after every single goal.
Il connaît quel risque il doit prendre. Tu vois, il a même inventé des kick-offs, tu vois. Alors,
also, if you do a wide open glass of water, his glass is just so big, the opening is so large. Are you the streamer on the left or the right? I don't know. Try and match the audio to what people are saying. And their mouth moving, you know? How's Jack's Stizzy going? Jack already beat Stizzy. Jack is playing Toxic now.
Ok, excellent. Ouais, il empêche Nass de...
Il va passer par-dessus. Est-ce qu'il va tenter? Ouais, il aura pas le
bump. Oh no! Nass! I feel like even I... Listen. I'm no expert. Maybe I knew Vatira was low. Oh, why did he think he's gonna go fast? I just... That's so unlike him. It's a good fake, but it's all Vatira can do. Vatira doesn't have like a good position to actually shoot that. Maybe I'm crazy though. That seemed like a rare mistake from Nass.
Excellent 50. Putain, qu'est-ce qu'il est fort sur ces 50, c'est énervant presque.
Ouais, c'est une de ses forces. Hein. Les 50, les kick-off. Ok, là ça va être difficile à...
Ouais, très difficile. Il va réussir à la défendre sur une crossbar.
Nice save.
Une deuxième fois. Il y aura pas le boost malheureusement. Ah, il l'a attendu du coup.
Fear so biased.
Il va jouer solo 50.
Am I biased for Nass, chat?
Et ça va être un open, je pense, ouais.
Dommage, dommage. C'était bien pensé, mais il a loupé dans l'exécution là sur le 50. Nass l'a très bien pris, c'était difficile.
Sorry. He's the number one 1v1er in the world right now.
Faire ça en match, mais genre 30 fois, tu vois.
With the exception of maybe Nupo.
Il est très fort là-dessus, tu vois.
Old Fear was never
Des
biased.
fois, c'est le genre de situation où il est pas censé se retrouver, mais il arrive à se rattraper, tu vois. Ok, là c'est difficile, il a loupé sa touche.
Ouais.
I want either Nass or Moxie to win because I like the idea of getting someone to get to go to land that wouldn't otherwise have
Oh
gone.
là là, quel def.
Heureusement, il a la def. Heureusement, il a la def.
Il va lui prendre.
Bah oui, bien sûr. Tu prends les ressources de la map.
Let's see it, Vatira. Go the distance.
Ok, il va pas prendre ce reset, il va le fake, dommage.
Not quite.
Mais c'est bien, en vrai, c'est bien parce que, tu vois, il a pas... Bon alors, un but d'avance...
I think obviously Moxie winning is fun for clear reasons. Moxie is kind of the 1v1 guy. The only one of these players who hasn't like made a main event in threes. Maybe Jup. I'm not sure on some of the other guys. Most of them made main events though, I think. Maybe has Trebla made a main event in RLCS 3s? Well, either way, as far as people who could potentially win, that's a great shot from Vatira, by the way. How many 1v1ers worldwide will end up at LAN? 4 unique players will get to play total, but that's over the course of all the LANs. There'll be 2 at each LAN.
Et il conditionne Nass aussi à alterner entre fake et reset et tout, exactement.
C'est clair.
Parce que là, du coup, en fait, là, du coup, à chaque fois qu'on va tirer dans les airs, Nass ne peut pas prédire, il ne peut pas pre-jump. Il est obligé d'attendre et du coup de parier sur une option au dernier moment et du coup ça complique.
Drally won 7-4 and 7-5 in his first 2 games against Trebla, so 7-5 is not bad. Trebla's like not getting absolutely omega walloped or anything.
Quelle défense.
Moxie's losing by a similar amount to Atto. We did have Nass Drally in the grand final, but we had it through Nass winning it early and then Drally coming through the lowers. But I mean, we didn't have Vatira DQing, and that really changes a lot. Vatira DQing would mean if I knew that was going to happen, that means I would have put Drally against Vatira. And I guess I'd probably still pick Drally. What a great save from Vatira. Pre-jumping and floating that the whole way. Nass doesn't get back, right? Oh my goodness, Nass. He does get back.
Je pense pas, je pense qu'il l'a respecté pour ça justement.
Minute 43.
Maintenant il est full boost.
We're potentially approaching a must-score situation for Nass.
Là il faut l'envoyer, voilà, bien joué sur le corner. De toute façon il a le break pour l'instant. Donc c'est à Nass de commit, c'est à Nass d'aller chercher cette balle. Pendant que Vatira va prendre ce reset au wave dash.
That was not it on the ceiling challenge, but he still makes it back. Ooh, what a counter. He made it. He made it in his must-score amount of time. Now he's got a minute 18 to get the next one. He can take a while to get it if he wants to. Do you know what day the 1v1 will happen at LAN? Yeah, the leaks that I have, just as I continue to leak after being a special guest, is I think I've heard maybe Saturday. I don't know if they'll do it at the end of games or something.
Pas simple. Ok, ça va. Et là, ça devient plus simple. Ok, là la game.
But you didn't want to do it Sunday. You wouldn't want to do it like before the grand finals, especially if a player might end up playing in both. So I think probably the last thing on Saturday feels like the most obvious choice.
Surtout, il récupère le boost.
Il peut tirer, et c'est totalement inarrêtable.
Ooh.
Je ne sais pas de quelle manière.
Il m'a fait peur, mais je crois qu'il l'a tout.
Slow mode? We're not on slow mode, are we?
Juste pour vérifier, mais je crois qu'il l'a tout.
Yeah, slow mode is off.
Sa petite Nass.
But Tua threw on purpose to knock Nip out of the major. Yeah, it's crazy.
Faut lui montrer qu'il était vraiment pas loin de la toucher, mais que c'est quand même.
The Nass reign would be officially over, man. We've seen him lose a couple show matches, but we weren't sure if he'd lose in tournaments. But I lost it, lost to Drally, lost to Vatira. And just like that.
Atto Moxie. Pour l'instant, Atto gagne 2-1 le BO.
Ouais.
Donc bah, idéalement, il faudrait que Atto gagne. Mais
Atto is winning his
représentant Carmine Forte en demi-finale quoi qu'il arrive. C'est une
Moxie series, it sounds like.
Ah,
Let's see. Jack. Oh, it's getting destroyed in game 3. Jack is up 2-0,
Je sens une sérénité.
but he's literally hasn't scored yet. He's down 6-0 in game 3.
C'était le début du
So
BO.
his series is going to keep going on.
Et là, tu vois, Vatira arrive
Jor
là,
Utz is losing to
tu
Jup
commences à
right
les
now.
matcher, tu peux avoir un peu la
What
porte
game
de
is
gagner.
this?
C'est le moment où il faut être clutch, c'est le moment où il faut, tu vois.
Oh, Joris is up 2-1, but he might go to another game 5
Mais franchement,
if he doesn't clutch it out. It's tied right now.
signe de
All right,
stress, de pression.
Non, non, c'est très propre. Hein. C'est très propre ce qui est proposé.
C'est
Nass!
important,
One life left, dude. One life
Dans
left.
ce match à enjeu, parce que bah,
Nass lost against Drally, and now he's on his final life here in the lower bracket against Vatira, who is only down here because he DQ'd,
mais bon, voilà,
which, man, is this a tough break for Nass. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you know,
dans ces duels et tout.
were you going to win anyways if you're losing games to Vatira and Drally?
Je te dis, je pense que
Probably
ce
not.
match, finalement, si tu dois affronter Nass, en fait, je pense que c'est le meilleur. Enfin, le fait d'avoir été DQ, je pense que tu vois, genre mentalement, tu te dis putain, j'ai vraiment troll, j'abuse, tu vois. Genre tu te dis putain. Ouais,
Drally
il y a
won a
une
nail
petite
biter over
un peu de deck
Nass.
contre les admins où tu te dis vas-y, c'est abusé, mais tu sais mentalement. je sais
This
pas,
is
ça
just
te
such
libère
a
un peu
tough
aussi,
draw
tu
for
te dis,
Mr.
bon, bah,
Nass,
vas-y,
but
de
what
toute
can you
façon,
do,
mon
man?
combat, perdu pour perdu. Autant que je le joue bien. Enfin, je sais pas comment t'expliquer, mais je trouve que mentalement, ça peut apporter un boost.
Ouais, totalement.
Enfin là, tu vois, je vois un.
Having to beat Drally and Vatira to qual is like
Sur ce BO, tu vois. Quoi
for
qu'il arrive,
sure the
les
hardest
premières
run.
games, elles sont très
Toxic
bonnes.
actually having to beat Atto Jack is similar, but I don't think it's as hard.
Ah, il est pro.
Il est très professionnel.
Il est pro. Il est pro.
All right.
Maintenant, faut
Must win, yeah, it's for sure must win.
faut
No
continuer,
question.
Les NIP jusqu'à la dernière goutte. Après,
Nass has only got must win games ahead of
on
him.
va finir cette phrase.
Non.
Je vais pas finir
On est
cette
en live, Ferra. Là. Allez, c'est parti. Du coup, là, sur ce début de match, pour l'instant, oh, l'échange est difficile.
J'ai déjà vu Split.
I almost feel like it's like a must dominate. Does that make sense?
Il a fait le même move que tout à l'heure où il a voulu.
Is that crazy?
prendre et il va pas- il-
Is that too much?
Ok, c'est pas grave. C'est pas grave.
I think he just needs to come out and like
Dans le BO, donc, bah, on a l'autre
play
match,
like
on a perdu
he's
celle-là.
Nass again, you know?
Ok, le
And like crush Vatira if he wants to
Ok, là,
feel good going in this game 5.
Dommage qu'il l'ait pas démo quand même. Je pense que c'était ce qu'il cherchait.
Ouais, totalement.
But if he just sneaks it
Il a
out,
quitté le supersonic à la frame quasiment.
Oh, c'est un bon tir.
ooh, Vatira, that. Oh!
Waouh,
That is a nasty placement.
très dur. Très dur. Le ballon est resté 8 heures en suspens. « 9 km/h la balle, ouais. C'est fou.
Ok, bah, c'est tout bénef. C'est tout bénef. Voilà.
Ooh, playing him like a fiddle, dude.
Tellement ce que je
Vatira,
vois.
man, he was playing so well
Tout à l'heure,
coming into this tournament.
Tu vois,
How did
regardes
his
le
Swiss
petit,
go?
à chaque fois, c'était but pour Nass. Bah, je pense que
3-0,
Vatira,
yeah,
il a fait
he dude.
Ok, je vais pas faire ça.
Tough break, man. Vatira hasn't lost
Il
yet.
défend autre chose. Là, il
I'm
défend
sure
le
Vatira
petit,
went through
il
the
défend
uppers into the GSL stage and has now won every game in the Swiss. And if it weren't for the DQ, has won every other game he's played. He hasn't lost a series yet. And yet, Nass has to play against him here in the lowers.
Magnifique le contrôle, récupération du contrôle du véhicule. Ici, Vatira qui se retrouve avec un Nass qui a envie de le démolir. Et c'est lu.
Ouais, mais. Et les secondes s'égrènent. Et là, Nass commence à. Je pense qu'il y a beaucoup de questions qui se posent dans sa tête. Est-ce que vraiment mon tournoi de 1v1 va se terminer le vendredi?
Ouais, le tir est bien. Ouais, Vatira, là, celle-ci, elle est pas facile à défendre.
Ooh, it has to be scored here.
Ouais,
Has to be scored.
il y a plus rien.
Watching from
Je pense
Vatira
qu'il s'attendait à ce que
POV
Nass soit plus proche.
shows how hard
Il
it
a un
is.
peu plus de temps que ce qu'il pensait là. Sur, tu vois, il a ratterri. Je pense qu'il a un peu plus.
If
de
Nass
temps
is number
pour,
one, he'll clutch.
pour
Oh, no
défendre.
doubt. I mean,
Mais il a
if
sauté un
you
peu.
want to
C'est
be
pas grave.
what we're trying to say Nass is, after winning, you know, a couple salt mines,
C'est parti pour ce kick-off. 5e ballon.
you got to be able to beat the Drallies and the Vatiras. So, you know, at the end of the day, he could just win these games.
Donc c'est pas dangereux
It
immédiatement.
should be a bummer for Vatira. Vatira should be the one pissed that he DQ'd, and maybe he will be, but we've yet to see the finish.
Moi, je connais bien dans Fortnite, quand t'as la hauteur, tu gagnes généralement.
Nice
Bah, de
50.
toute façon, c'est Piquet,
Koi
ça
almost
fait
home
la
from
même chose,
work.
hein.
Pareil, hein.
Fortnite et Rocket League, c'est pareil.
Même chose.
Pareil au même.
Good afternoon, Feer. Had no idea you were back. You mean because I missed last week? I've done a couple streams since then.
But d'avance maintenant pour
Excellent kick-off.
Nass.
Nass wins the tournament, mark my words. I mean,
Il va le fake une fois. Shadow
Faut garder la
défense.
lucidité.
he in theory still could. Air dribble cringe
Oh.
and the little catch as well.
Il regrettait d'avoir coupé.
Although I feel like he was just trying to get out of the way of his ball. But he could have just driven into the net, I guess.
Faut pas se précipiter. Il reste toute la game. Faut le faire.
Joria's won. 3-1. All right, Joria's top 8. So what's going to come down to is the only person who's going to miss top 8 that we're going to be really surprised by is, I guess, maybe Jack could still lose. He's losing game 4. And Juicy or Tempo, honestly, both of them could miss. So it's not terribly surprising. But it does look like Tempo's going to miss. Juicy up 7-2 in game 4 to 3-1 him. So I think we had Juicy anyways in our predicted top 8. So the only big surprise will be one of these two, right? Trebla replacing one of Nass or Vatira in the top 8.
On a 5-5 Atomoxy. Il reste 30 secondes.
Atto Moxie game 5. For some reason I can't like normally I talk about those seeding games being pretty important and but I'll be honest, right now it just feels like this is just so orders of magnitude important to win this one. I guess you're trying to dodge Drally, who did 3-0 Trebla. So you're winning to not have to play Drally, which is kind of big actually. Winner gets to play Trebla instead. So, you know, it is a pretty important game between Atto and Moxie. I take it back. You'd much rather play Trebla for top 4 than Drally. If Trebla makes it over Nass, I guess I'm not all about that Nass no trouble. Mods, do whatever you feel is necessary.
On sent que Vatira, peut-être qu'il force certaines petites décisions. J'ai l'impression qu'il
Alright, 4-4. It's so sweaty, dude. I was saying Nass needs to dominate, man. He needs to put himself out in the lead clearly here. Obviously not actually. In theory, he could just... Oof, that was a big mistake from Vatira. Ooh, is that... Yeah, he's got it. Okay.
Ah, il va s'en vouloir de celle-là. Il va s'en vouloir. Parce qu'en fait, Nass s'est loupé. Ouais. Attends, Nass, ça fait 2 séries qui se loupent beaucoup quand même, hein. Et à chaque fois, ça bait l'adversaire.
Nass looking not quite as clean in the aerial game.
Il a besoin de ça pour aller au major, et puis voilà quoi. C'est genre, c'est un truc pour lui le 1v. En plus, il est très fort, il le sait. Donc je pense que tu vois, il y a tout ça sur ses épaules.
Vatira loves his delay kickoff.
Ok, c'est pas grave. 2 buts. 2 buts, c'est négociable.
Ça tient, mais ça fait mal. Là, c'est rapide quand même.
Ouais, Vatira, je crois qu'il a tenté un... Je sais pas ce qu'il a tenté sur le kick-off, mais il a tenté. Il s'est fait...
Bro's hungry. People love to make the... came over from the YouTube stream just to say to ban that guy. I've heard this excuse a lot during Ramadan. Everyone always excuses everyone's losses during Ramadan. But I'm sure the players would not try and excuse their losses for that.
Il l'a peut-être,
Alright. Little bit of... This is like the first time Nass has ever had separation. Everyone is in agreement of that of that new YouTube chatter. Does Nass even fast? I think he does.
Faut gagner le kick-off. Faut gagner le kick-off, faut avoir un bon kick-off.
Ok, il est pas mal ce kick-off. Il aura le boost.
Game 5. I'll be honest, chat. You guys ready for some more leaks? During my segment tomorrow, I actually cover some Vatira games. And I picked some stuff to recover from what I thought was going to be a bunch of people guaranteed to make top 8. And, you know, now there's a chance Vatira might not make top 8.
Il y a quand même un espoir, on sait jamais, tu vois, un bon challenge. Non, ouais, là il va gagner du temps là-dessus.
That's getting saved, but all right, I'm pretty sure that Nass has won this game 4. I'm pretty sure.
Oh non, le pop de merde.
Ouais, c'est dommage. J'étais un petit peu trop loin des cages.
Oh, le rebond horrible.
And this is not exactly what I was saying he needed, but it's a little bit of what he needed. I feel like he needed a good, nice, healthy win. Not one where he like sweated it out.
Ok, bah pas grave.
Three goals is decent. Whereas Zen ended up DQing.
Ouais, il est pas out.
For basically mental health reasons. He wants to reset before the
Après un 7-1.
major.
C'est dommage, il s'est fait reverse sweep.
Ok.
Il y avait la possibilité. Mais bon, bah du coup, demain, on aura un Drally contre Atto.
Moxie's
Et du
crushing.
coup, ça veut dire qu'un des deux sera en
Moxie up
demi-finale, et
7-1
l'autre
against
sera- l'autre
Atto.
qui pourra
He is
gagner,
going to get
tout
the
simplement.
to play Trebla in his semi
Là,
instead, it would
j'ai
seem.
vu des gens qui disaient,
Atto's
ouais,
gonna have to
c'est
play
pas
Drally, which is
comme de
way
Moxie,
tougher.
je vous le dis, hein, c'est-
Jack is going to go to game 5, it looks like. Let's
c'est pas
see.
grave, hein.
10 seconds away from going to game 5 with
Les mecs
Toxic.
en face, ils ont de la chatte, j'aime bien.
Only one of them.
Voilà,
Ooh.
comme ça, tu vois.
Pause champ.
Et eux, c'est pareil. Faut pas leur-
Ayo! Maybe not. Maybe he's not going to go game 5. Little water sip.
Game 5, this is where legends are made. Good luck to both participants. Et lui, c'est le GOAT.
Et je
Let's
pense
see.
que t'es Nass, tu lis ça, tu te dis, mais il se fout de ma gueule, ce connard.
He should be able
C'est
to
un monstre.
bump or save this. OT. We might not get to watch all the OT. We might have to switch back
Mais il a
over,
raison.
but
Il a raison. Game 5.
oh, he lost.
Ouais,
Wait, no, he
c'est
didn't.
le
Toxic didn't get to it in time.
Toxic, c'est acté, tout le monde le sait. C'est pour ça que c'est très dur.
Toxic trying to bait him into a bad challenge. Nice
Ouais,
coverage
c'est
there
totalement sur les nerfs, hein, tu vois,
from Mr.
la
Jack,
moindre-
but
la moindre
not out of the woods
erreur, elle est
yet.
punie. Bah,
Instant
j'imagine-
dive, steal away, goal. Toxic goal!
Le truc qui s'est passé avec Zen en 1v1, c'est pas pour rien.
Oh, Jack advances off of the Toxic
Tire.
own goal.
Elle est trop faible,
That
elle est trop faible.
Ah, il a été dur avec
is
ça,
a
c'est dur,
tough
c'est pas
one.
grave. C'est pas grave.
Oh. All right, game 5.
Il a-
Nass
Il a
Vatira.
envoyé ça sur dans la lucarne. Ok, voilà.
Moxie reverse swept. Is that what it ended up being? Man,
C'est bon signe pour la suite.
crazy for the Mock. Mock versus Trebla
Depuis le mur, il va pas se laisser avoir.
in one of the upper games, and then it'll be Drally versus Atto in the other one.
On n'aura
C'est
pas
pas
la
mal,
démo
mais,
malheureusement. Ouais,
Faut aller chercher le boost.
pas de démo.
Moxie might be locking in his top 4.
C'est dur. C'est pas dedans.
C'est pas dedans, c'est pas dedans, c'est pas dedans, c'est pas dedans. Tout va bien. Tout va bien. Ok. Ok, Nass la joue slow, ça va être difficile de défendre par contre.
Nass.
va top ça.
Ooh, nice coverage, dude. The hook shot, tough to
Ça
read.
va, ok. Vatira joue intelligemment.
Vatira
Ouh, c'est
gets
un
the
bon
save though.
Ça va. Nass n'a pas
Every
mangé,
last
n'a
bit
pas
of
mangé.
boost. Vatira will get boost
Ah, là, il y a de
steal.
l'attention, il y a de l'attention sur cette game 5.
31, bit awkward.
Ok.
Nass lob up, got
Ah,
the
il est même,
bump.
je crois. Ok, ça va. Non, Nass a pas de boost, mais je sais pas s'il va tirer le save.
Ah.
Nice shot. Wow, that's a good play.
Il a pris le tir au power shot très puissant, très instantané.
Ouais, je pense que
How's your Twitch goal going? Yeah, we hit the February. I'm guessing we'll probably hit the March.
Il s'y attendait pas.
I don't mean to jump scare anybody by showing it now because it'll say we're way behind. Jump! Thank you for the 60 million viewer raid. Yo, good playing today, Jump. Good playing today. Tough that you didn't get to play Trebla. I bet you feel better about a matchup against Trebla than Joria's. Maybe I'm wrong about
J'ai
that,
l'impression que
but
Nass a repris le dessus un petit peu sur les kick-offs là depuis peut-être une
I had to
game.
play Joria's instead.
Faut se remettre dedans, il reste quasiment toute la game. Hein. Faut pas
Yeah, you
laisser la
got
game
cooked.
s'éloigner.
Yeah, it's tough. That's tough.
Transformer ça en 6 buts d'avance non plus.
Ouais, clairement. Là, le match est pas à l'avantage de Vatira. Faut pas piss tilt actuellement.
Mais tu vois, ouais, s'il se reprend bien, c'est tout à fait jouable et Nass, tu vois, la game elle va se tendre pour lui aussi donc. Voilà, il a 0 normalement. Vatira le sait.
Ouais.
Oof, Nass, dude.
Allez, c'est pas grave. Allez, let's go.
Mr. Nass.
C'est bien joué.
Putain, il s'est tellement réveillé, je suis dégoûté.
Is he actually gonna bring it back here?
C'est quand même rattrapable. C'est quand même rattrapable, surtout si tu vois si Vatira se remet bien comme il avait fait sur les 3 premières games finalement.
Definitely way too early to call it. Way too early to call it. Whenever you're watching a game live, you get to watch the flow. You know, maybe we would have called this one if it were one of the background games.
Ça va sur le côté.
Je pense que Nass commence à s'y attendre, tu vois, des plays comme ça où Vatira va slow, va en dessous. Il prend un peu plus de temps à défendre. Ok. C'est pas dedans, je crois.
Why is this overlay? There we go.
Ça devrait aller. Ouais. Attention. Ouais, il l'a vu, belle dé.
Magnifique, putain, quelle défense.
Ok.
Nice save.
Bon, moi, mid-game. Nass commence à.
This is how game one went for
petit à
Vatira.
petit.
Terrifiant.
Vatira had Nass like completely shut out. But obviously, if you have to pick a game to shut the other person out in, you probably pick game 5.
Ouais, là, les secondes c'est cool et c'est. Voilà, Vatira il commence à avoir des challenges un petit peu plus
This is
agressifs.
not guaranteed.
Oui,
Oof, nice play.
Magnifique, excellent. Allez, un but.
C'est ce qu'il fallait.
Ça a pris une bonne minute quand même, hein, cet échange.
To be fair, Trebla did make top 4,
Ça va, c'est le bon moment.
or did make it to the upper bracket, so maybe Vatira was scared of Trebla.
Allez, mon petit.
No, this is tough. I mean, honestly, shouts to Trebla, who all he can do is check in, you know? He checked in, got a win. He checked in against Joria's, and he won there as well.
Oh, magnifique, magnifique. Il fallait pas bégayer hein, sur cet open.
Fallait
All right, 2 minutes, 1 goal game.
Sinon Nass revenait.
We all knew 3 was never safe. I didn't jinx anything.
Duel, on veut le voir. Aïe, aïe, aïe,
We
aïe.
all knew 3 wasn't
Il a
safe
pris un peu plus slow.
with how much time was
Il
left.
a un bon angle là. Il va passer par-dessus. Vatira qui prend le temps au contrôle depuis le backboard, au duel dans ce corner. On va jouer la shadow défense.
Not the best catch. We saw Vatira do the same kind of catch earlier today impeccably. That one he lost a little bit. Lean back. Great D from Vatira, honestly. Dude, great save. Great save. Nass forcing him to make a ton of movements, and like a weaker man gets caught out at some point during that. Nass did not get the boost, but he has 54, and that first touch, great on Nass to not go immediately sidewall. Instead, he catches and makes sure to flick it over the top of Vatira and force Vatira to reset, because he knows the most important thing is getting the ball on the opposite side of the defender as opposed to just, you know, trying to set up something on a sidewall or...
C'est bien.
Vatira, the pre-flip flick. I mean, the idea is there, but he didn't have the power.
Nass qui reprend son temps, mais là il a plus de boost.
Ooh, got caught on the back wall. Still pretty good recovery. Wow, he got a pretty good shot of that. But I think if he doesn't get caught on the back wall, he might even be able to score. Ooh, nice counter from Nass. Dude. It's tough because Vatira, he doesn't really have time to not just take most opportunities. That's a great counter. Ooh, delay kickoff. Ooh, but Nass bumped him. Nass drove through it and got the bump. Still Vatira possession. Top right. What a save! Oh my goodness. That was probably a must score. Look at Nass chase the ball down. Ooh, I don't think going for midfield boost was right. I feared you get demoed. Actually, that was a big mistake. Ooh, Nass. He could have gone to the back corner and just accepted the fact that he's not going to get the boost and like prepared to play defense. But instead, he could try to greed out midfield for like a moment. That gets him demoed. 12 seconds now. Vatira did not go delay. He's relied on delay. He does get midfield 100 first. Nass chases ball down. This a lot of times what happens here is like a flick over the top and then an open net. But Nass being such a little pest, dude. And he got the steal. Dude, Nass. Insane. Insane.